Here we go, everybody. This is Season Ticket Sports. I don't write intros because I'm not the host here. Dan Hooley, Bernardo Sanchez, they couldn't make it today.
We really wanted Bernardo, but I guess...
Yeah, we have to go for the light skin rather than the dark skin this time, you know. Stuff just happens. All right, so today is our NFL free agency special, I guess you would call it. It's all NFL today because yesterday was...
A little
just
bit of
stories upon stories. Yeah, and this is only part one of it. Part two will either come later today or tomorrow. And if you're listening to this days in the future, part two's already out. I hope you're enjoying it.
Or it's not out because we died.
Hey, well, that's also possible. We could die at any time. You don't know that. But first story of the day happened a few days ago. The Colts re-signed Dwayne Allen. Dwayne Allen, a tight end, 26. Sorry, my handwriting is not that great, but he's 26 years old. 4 years. $30 million. That's not guaranteed money, so obviously he's probably getting around half of that. But he's good. I mean, he was their backup tight end for a bunch of years, as opposed to, what's his name, Coby Fleener. Mm-hmm. And I like his name, Coby Fleener. Very interesting.
Fleener sounds like a good tight end.
Yeah, I would like Fleener on my team. And
that doesn't really matter.
The Jets need a tight end. I swear, they have nobody. Well, they just signed Zach Sudfeld, one of those.
What's his name?
What, Zach Sudfeld?
Zach. We'll call him Zach for sure.
All right, we're just gonna call him Zach. And last year Allen only had 16 catches, 106 yards. Mm-hmm. But I mean, for that to get $30 million, I'll take it any day, honestly. All right, second story, which is completely irrelevant to free agency. Calvin Johnson retired, which, wow.
He's only 30.
Only 30 years old. It's really showing, like, maybe he saw the movie Concussion and was like, oh, damn.
Maybe
I shouldn't do that. Well, that's also probably the main thing. He just pulled a Barry Sanders and was like, you know what? I'm going to get out while I'm on top. Because look at his career stats. 731, I put passes, but I meant catches. 731 catches in his career. Nearly 12,000 yards. That's ridiculous. I think I saw that was 27th of all time, which is great considering he's only 30 years old.
He's still have to get,
and some receivers have played until they're 38, 40 years old. Like some of the ones on the top of the list.
Some haven't even reached his number.
Exactly, which is ridiculous, and I think it's crazy. Calvin Johnson... They put up the single-season record a few years ago with nearly 2,000 yards. He's a great guy. I'm going to miss him, watching him play.
He'll probably come back. He'll just be like, he'll be like, you know what? I don't want to retire. I just want to play for a good team.
It was all a ploy. You know, he just wanted to get maybe a little healthier, retire, so he can just join a good team. You know, Jets, of course.
I say good team.
Hey, all right. We're not going to fight over which team is better here, but
your team's better, but it's not good.
Yes.
Anyway.
Jets still need a quarterback. That's a problem.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick? No.
Kaepernick, Fitzpatrick, RG3? Maybe. Who knows?
RG3 might go to the Browns.
That'll be an interesting one. The Browns should just quit as an organization, I think.
Really should.
Just wave the white flag. Just, I'm done. It's over. I don't think the Browns are good at all. And they will never be.
I can't name one good player on the team. One
good player on the Browns? Maybe they have a lineman?
Yeah, but
maybe they have a lineman that's good. I don't really know. Hayden, the cornerback. He's not terrible. He could be a lot worse. He's one of the top.
One of your best players like a lineman, you're in trouble.
All right. Well, next story we have the Bills signing the bully Richie Incognito. He's 32 right now, going to be 33 before the season starts, so that's what really matters. $15 million for 3 years again. Not all of that's guaranteed, probably getting somewhere around half of that. Surprisingly, one of the best guards in the league last year, and he came to the Bills cheap a couple of years ago prior because he bullied Jonathan Martin, which was the weirdest story coming out of football 2 years ago and probably got his coach fired. Well, didn't get his coach fired at the time, which caused controversy, yeah. How do you bully I still don't understand that story. You see, season ticket wasn't around back then when that story was happening.
Or else we reported it.
Yeah, of course we would have. But 3 years, $15 million. I mean, I'm glad you're getting your life back around. I don't know what to make of it. Yeah, do you not bully people? Apparently, according to people around the league, he's just a big dick. Doesn't have a big dick. He doesn't have a big dick. He is the big dick.
I mean, why would you eat?
Yeah, and apparently he said many racist comments and things like that as well to bullying him. I don't know. I've never seen him as a good person ever since the scandal has happened, but who knows? Jonathan Martin also was in a weird place at the time. Mm-hmm. So here we go. 3 years, $15 million. What matters is right now that he's a productive football player and he's getting that done. Giants re-signed JPP. You know, Mr. One Hand, Three Finger. I don't know what's up with him.
3 fingers.
He has like 3 fingers, half of.
2 fingers.
Well, I think he has one. He has one full hand.
Yeah.
And then he has like.
I think he might be missing one on the other hand.
I think he's missing his thumb and then a half of one.
Yeah,
something along those lines.
Thumb is pretty important. Like that's how you like.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
He could Odell Beckham.
And as the season progressed on last year, he missed the first 9 games. But then after the season progressed on last year, he figured out how to work with the only kind of one hand and then just like a fist of a hand the rest of it. So he wasn't as great of a pass rusher, but he can literally only get better next season because this season was just not good. He didn't play in a lot of games. The Giants were bad anyway. But the Giants, I'm saying this now, they're going to be a good team next year. They got... Because I'm not covering the other stories in here except for one more. The Giants, they got JPP. They got Janoris Jenkins, which is a corner. They needed another corner. They got Snacks, which I'm going to cover later, so I lied. Then they also got Olivier Vernon. What the hell is your name?
I don't think you wrote them.
Well, that's awkward. Anyway,
they
got 3 linemen, a cornerback. They definitely helped their defense out, which was one of the worst in the league last year. If they can get a couple decent linebackers in there just to fill up, play tackles, maybe the guy that Darryl Smith, that the Ravens released the other day, I would get him because he put up, I believe, 120 tackles last season, and then they're just like, I'm going to release you. Because the Ravens make sense. We'll talk about the Ravens in a little bit and how they make so much sense. But yeah, JPP... We'll see how he does.
Really don't make any sense.
Yeah, we'll get into that. All right, next one, the Jaguars, another team to watch out for next year.
Big winners.
Yeah, definitely. Big winners of yesterday and a little bit of today, I'm assuming. They signed D-tackle Malik Jackson to a 6-year, $42 million guaranteed. All of the $42 million is guaranteed. He can earn more than $42 million, which he probably will. But at the very least, he's getting $42 million. Which is ridiculous. He had 45 tackles and 6 sacks last season with the Broncos. Yeah, with that great Broncos defense. The Broncos defense is actually losing a lot of guys.
Okay, well, not Von Miller.
Not Von Miller. No, they kept Von Miller, but the Broncos are losing. Well, let's just spoiler alert. Brock Osweiler, he's gone now. I know if this is where your primary news source is, you're probably doing something wrong. But
that's really sad.
We're just trying to give you more insight rather than the news right away. But he's very good against the run. Apparently 6 sacks last season, which is very good, considering they also have, like you just said, Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware last season, so that's
to take sacks from them.
Exactly, so to be able to get that, I think it's really good. And then the Jags getting him and putting him in that line, Jags are going to be good next season.
Jaguars might actually be good.
They might be good. If they can, they're still going to be a young team for the most part, but they're going to have some, signing another ex-Bronco. They had Julius Thomas last season. He didn't put up great numbers.
Jaguars did pretty good this year.
They did better than expected, but still not
with
amazing.
These additions, they could actually do something.
I would think so, definitely. All right, so moving on. This name, the Raiders signed Kelechi Osemele. Sorry, bro. Your name's hard to say. 26 years old. He's a guard. Apparently, he's an amazing run blocker, one of the best run blockers in the game. Which that's good considering they have Latavius Murray as the running back, and he's pretty good. And they just need a line to maybe push him forward. They already have a good passing attack considering the emergence of Amari Cooper. Mm-hmm. I believe they still have Michael Crabtree, and they could probably have another few ancillary guys to fill out the rest of it.
He's the best though.
Yeah.
Not according to Sherman.
Wait, who? Oh, yeah, not according to Richard Sherman. He's not the best. This deal was for 5 years and $60 million. Not all 60 is guaranteed. Again, about half of that. When you look at guaranteed contracts, it's usually about half, maybe a little bit north of half. But 5 years, $60 million. That's a lot for a guard. That's a record-setting number for a guard. Actually, a guard's never had that many. He never had that much money before.
Hey, best guard.
Yeah, it shows that if you're big and you're fat and you like to move people, you can find a job that pays $60 million.
Wish I had a jokes insert here.
There you go. That's good. Here we go. Seahawks re-sign Acha. Sorry, these names. I'm sorry. Acha Rubin. I like your last name. 29 years old. He's a defensive tackle. He had 36 tackles last season.
Can't even read your own handwriting.
Hey, 2 sacks. 3 years, $12 million. Apparently, he's bounced around from team to team in the last few years, and he kind of just wanted to stay in one place. because according to many experts, he could have gotten more money out on the open market. But the Seahawks, he just wanted to stay in Seattle. Seattle has a pretty good team. Good team, yeah. Very good defense, yeah, and adding to that is him. And, spent most of his career in Cleveland, was kind of injured when he was there, but he's a solid defensive tackle and will definitely help them in the years to come, especially at such a cheap price. Yeah. I hate saying that $12 million is a cheap price, but I guess that's the world that we live in. That's the world of sports. When Roger Goodell is making $34 million a year, it's ridiculous. What does he do?
I read 44 somewhere.
That's like goddamn. I don't work there. It's like goddamn Joe Ward making $120,000 a year. I'm bringing up Joe Ward because it's the same kind of deal. What do you do to deserve that money?
Maybe it's
behind you have the credentials, but sorry if you're watching.
Yeah, Goodell doesn't deserve all that money.
No.
Almost let's see, that's like 8 times as much as the president.
Yeah. I mean, our president's, whether you like the president or not, I mean, he does stuff for the country, and he's probably more important than Roger Goodell.
Does stuff for the country.
Does he?
I mean, football's part of the country.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty big part of the country. All right, so moving on, we have the Chargers re-signing Joey Barksdale, like your name. 4 years, $22 million. He's 27 years old, around the same age as all these guys hitting free agency right now. Started all of his games last season, which was surprising because most of his career he was injured. Yeah, there you go. So, I'm surprised about that. I like Joey Barksdale. He's a pretty good blocker. The Rams. Chargers.
One's going out.
Yeah, I mean, he used to be on the Rams, so, I mean, there's that. But he's staying with the Chargers. Injury-plagued career. I don't know, if he played all his games last year. If the Chargers want to be able to do something, though, they should probably sign more skill players and maybe a little bit of more guys on defense. Mm-hmm. Maybe try to retain Eric Weddle or something. I don't know. But the Chargers, I don't see them being any better next year. Phillip Rivers, he's going to have a solid season, but other than that, I mean, Phillip Rivers is pretty good.
He's alright.
I like Phillip Rivers.
I don't really care for him.
He's better than Matt Ryan. Can we agree on that? Oh, yeah, Bernardo was the one hating on Matt Ryan. It wasn't you the one time, but Bernardo hated Matt Ryan. Not exactly sure. I like Phillip Rivers. We're moving on here. The Dolphins signed Mario Williams, as you probably all know. He was released by the Bills a few weeks ago from
probably overpaid a bit.
Yeah, probably overpaid. I mean, he was overpaid when he was with the Bills. He was on a $100 million contract, and now he's getting 2 years, $16 million. So clearly cut down, but he still gets all the guaranteed money from his Bills deal, which I'm not exactly sure was how much. But defensive end, 31 already. He still seems young in my eyes, and I don't know why. But
how old is he?
31.
He's 30.
I mean, he's relatively young, but in football, it's like
Nate Robinson's age.
Yeah, Nate Robinson. Let's talk about that guy now, since you want to mention him.
So Nate Robinson, he's going to take a break from the NBA, and he wants to play. He wants to play for the NFL,
which is crazy. But if you look deep into it, it's not so crazy.
Yeah. A couple years ago, he ran a 4.3 at the 40. He's got good speed. He played in college. He could play.
Yeah. So if anything, like let's say he ran a 4.3. You would think he wouldn't he couldn't have gotten that much slower.
Yeah. I mean,
he did. Did he have a leg injury the other year? Or last year? He might have, which might have made him cut a little bit slower.
He's only 31. He's got time.
Maybe. I mean, he could play. I would like to have him just try out on my practice squad, maybe as a safety, just because it would be interesting to see Nate Robinson. Yeah. I mean, he's not. I guess so. He's given up on the NBA now. I guess.
Well, yeah, unless he gets
very interesting. I don't know. A lot of people, nobody, and I saw this on Bleacher Report. Nobody's ever done both sports, right?
Yeah, that's what you. Nobody's ever played pro basketball and football.
Yeah, baseball and football has been done. Has baseball and basketball ever been done? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Michael Jordan. If you count that, he didn't make it to the majors, though. I mean, he played pro. It was minor league, so it's still pro.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, we have the Ravens signing Ben Watson. Here's why the Ravens are weird. The Ravens already have 2 tight ends, 2 solid tight ends.
So what they do is they take a book from the 76ers and they sign a third tight end.
Yeah, they're like, tight end? We like tight ends. But you already got 2. We like tight ends.
It's like you guys don't understand. Why? It's like they say, 2 heads is better than 1, so 3 heads is better than 2.
Exactly. And apparently 3's not a crowd here because they also have Dennis Pitta. Yeah.
Covering.
Yeah, we're going to get in trouble for that. But, they have Dennis Pitt already, and they have Max Williams. Max Williams up and coming. He's kind of the younger guy. Dennis Pitt is the older guy. Then you throw Ben Watson onto that, and he's 36. He put up good numbers last year, but he was with Drew Brees. 2 years, $8 million. So I guess they're not spending that much on him. But don't they have something else to take care of?
Backup for $4 million.
Shouldn't they do something? I don't know. Ben Watson. I like Ben Watson, but I don't like the fit there. Ben Watson, come over to the Jets. Maybe.
Yeah, you guys really need a tight end.
We really do need a tight end and someone to throw to him. If Fitzpatrick, you might want to just take a little bit less money. Take a little bit less money.
Yeah, go for Kaepernick. Maybe RG3.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so then we have the Chiefs re-signing Tamba Ali. I like your name. Pretty simple, pretty easy. 3 years, $22 million. That's not guaranteed money. Again, look about half of that, maybe about $15-16 million. He's 32 years old, older than I thought. 6.5 slacks. Yeah, 6.5 slacks last season. Sacks. He spent his whole career in Kansas City, so I guess he kind of just wanted to stay there because I feel like he could get more money. But if you want to stay in it keeps Kansas City with a good defense. They're always going to have a good defense. Him, Justin Houston. Yeah, they did better with that last season, considering, Alex Smith started to throw the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
And use his legs, surprisingly, which I didn't know he had the possibility of doing. But I like Alex Smith. He's not horrible. I'd take him on the Jets. Yeah. I'd take a lot of guys on the Jets. Please, any GMs watching, trade your quarterback over to the Jets. I don't care who it is.
Sam Bradford?
Except for Sam Bradford, maybe. Brian Hoyer, get the hell out of here. I do not want Brian Hoyer.
Yeah,
please. Hey, Texans, though. Send me TJ Yates. I fucking like that guy.
Like Yates?
I like TJ Yates. He played good against the Jets.
Tom Savage?
I like Tom Savage a lot, too. You got Osweiler. But keep Osweiler and Hoyer. Hoyer could be the backup. Send us Yates and Savage, and we'll figure it out from there. You already sent us Fitzpatrick last season, so I figure it's got to be good going from there. The Broncos re-signed. They did not re-sign. They signed Donald Stevenson, taking him away from the Kansas City Chiefs, who we just mentioned. 3 years. 18 million? I'm sorry, this is bad. Usually I type up my notes, but football was crazy this week. So again, this is only part one of the show. But 3 years, 18 million. He's 27 years old. He started for the first time last season. Considering he's 27 years old, you would think he would have started somewhere between there. But apparently, he's a pretty solid player. He doesn't excel in anything too greatly, but he's a solid lineman, which, you can never go wrong. Apparently, he's going to play right tackle for them. I'm sure that's what he played last season. Well, he played one of the tackles last season. He was kind of a fill-in guy as well, like previous to that, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But who's going to be the Broncos quarterback? Who's he protecting? You wanna throw out some predictions? RG3. You really think RG3 is going to go to the Broncos? I think it's going to be Kaepernick.
Yeah, I think Kaepernick, unless the Jets can get Kaepernick, because then I think the Broncos only
I don't know.
To go for RG3. Who are they? Unless they're going to go for Manziel, cut by the Browns.
Yeah,
I doubt
it. Nobody wants to go to the Browns, so maybe Kaepernick will end up with going to the Browns because nobody wants to go to the Browns, and he's the only guy that can be out of these guys we're talking about, the only one that could be traded.
Yeah, so the Browns.
So there's no option of where he goes. Mm-hmm. So Kaepernick seems like a likely fit with the Browns, and RG3 maybe ends up somewhere. I don't think he ends up somewhere immediately as a starter. He at the most, and I said this last week, at the most I think he ends up as a backup or a guy fighting for the starting spot. But I don't think he'll be the starter right away anywhere. Except for the Browns. I don't know.
I feel like the Browns
the Browns maybe, but the Browns are just a terribly run organization. They have a lawyer running their team. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand the Browns.
Likes football, but
I like football too, but I can
run a team.
Definitely better than the Browns. I can run a team better than the Browns, better than 76ers. That's all I know. Yeah. And maybe better than the Ravens, but the Ravens did win a Super Bowl a little while ago. And they did 2013, I believe, because 2012 was the Giants. And they won one back in 2000. So I guess the Ravens aren't terribly run. It's just they make weird decisions.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on from that, the 49ers kept one of their own guys. They re-signed Ian Williams, 5-year deal, $30 million. Again, that's not guaranteed, so about half of that. 26, 45 tackles last year. He's a pretty good run stopper. He mainly plays nose tackle up the middle, depending on the scheme that the 49ers are playing. But the 49ers are terrible. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be. I feel like it's going to be someone out of the draft because who do they have? They have Blaine Gabbert is their number one quarterback option last year. They've got to come up with someone in the draft, someone a little bit mobile. Chip Kelly is with, I don't know. I feel kind of bad.
I believe in Chip Kelly.
You believe you're an Eagles fan. You're saying you believe in Chip Kelly.
I'm not saying he'll work. I'm saying I believe it.
You believe he'll do something.
Yeah, he'll definitely change up your team.
For the better or worse, apparently.
Hey, the Eagles made it to the playoffs twice.
Yeah, but then now they've completely dismantled everybody that
Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly got, except for maybe Bradford. They were just like, we're going to keep you. Maybe he had one good idea. Even then, Bradford's like a little shaky, a little scary.
I like Ego Alonso.
But you're probably trading him away. That trade isn't like official yet. That trade's weird. No, I haven't seen that.
They cleared his shoulder.
I'm not sure if it's official. I don't know if it's 100% official.
Have to clear Byron Maxwell's shoulder.
That's true. But again, also Dolphins gonna end up weird this season. Signing a Mario Williams as well.
I mean, hey, that Eagles trade, we went up 5 spots.
Yeah, that's
what we did.
Yeah, and then you traded. Wait, what was the other trade? Wait. Since we're just gonna mention this now because I don't have this written down. But the Eagles traded DeMarco Murray
to the Titans.
Do you know what they traded him for?
I'm still not sure.
They traded him for.
I'm pretty sure
to move up 5 spots in the 4th round of this year's draft. Really? Yeah.
No, I thought the Dolphins they moved 5 spots. In the first round.
No. That's for the other.
Yeah, but
that's for the other
5 spots too.
No, because they would still be 5 spots because you're still 5 spots away in every round of the draft. The Eagles are trading. Okay, the Eagles are trading DeMarco Murray and their 4th round pick.
Yes.
And the Dolphins are just trading their 4th round pick.
Okay.
So the Dolphins just get DeMarco Murray.
No, the Dolphins don't get DeMarco Murray. The Titans.
Titans. Sorry. Okay. Let me start over. Sorry for some false information. Titans traded their 4th round pick to the Eagles for DeMarco Murray and their 4th round pick. Okay. And the Eagles' 4th round pick. So you're just you're just switching 4th round picks with the Titans.
Titans have a higher 4th round pick, don't they?
Oh, maybe it's higher, but it's still it's pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. They couldn't even give the 4th round pick without having to take it away. It was just a 4th round pick. Mm-hmm. So that's how much DeMarco Murray didn't want to be there and how much apparently the Eagles don't want him.
Apparently Titans want him.
Yeah. And with about 7 minutes left in the show, we're going to go down and say out of left field, using a baseball analogy.
Because we're sports.
Yeah, sports. Because we have all baseball stuff here because I'm sorry, I don't have any football props. We have the Giants, I'm completely lying, the Raiders signing Bruce Irvin to a 4-year, $40 million contract. I think he could have gotten more, but I'm just going to leave that aside. $10 million is good enough. I mean, I'll take $10 million. 28 years old, outside linebacker, can play some D-end. He's pretty versatile. He's a big athletic guy. Did great in the Super Bowl a few years ago. Well, both Super Bowls, actually. Yeah. And then 38 tackles, 6 sacks. And looking at him and Khalil Mack as in their linebacking core, they're going to be pretty dangerous. And the Raiders, like I said before, they signed... Cooper. It's ridiculous. And then they got the linemen to help out the running game. The Raiders, the Giants, Jaguars, teams that were bad last year that I think will make the playoffs this year. I think the Giants will win their division. I think
the Giants will win their division.
I think the Giants will win their division.
I doubt the Eagles are going to win it, so yeah, maybe the
Giants. And the Cowboys are such a wild card, and the Redskins, I don't know if Kirk Cousins can put up the same kind of season. I don't think he can.
Still have McCoy.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, so Jaguars might be able to win their division. And then what was the other team I mentioned? Raiders. I don't know if they can win their division, but I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll make the playoffs definitely. Teams are in the division. Typically teams are in the division. But they're in the division with the Chargers and Chiefs and Broncos. So
yeah, the Broncos.
That's tough because the Broncos are going to be tough, regardless of who the quarterback is.
RG3, then he could ruin the team.
It could be. I don't know. RG3 just scares me. Okay, and with another big signing, the Giants sign Janoris Jenkins to a 5-year, $30 million guaranteed. Mm-hmm. Can make a lot more than that, but $30 million guaranteed. He's a cornerback for the record. Just wanted to get that out there. I didn't think I mentioned that. He's 27 years old. He's a great tackler, apparently. He's good, roams the secondary well, gets in a lot of run plays, which you don't normally like to see your secondary do, but, I mean, I'll take it. He's very underrated, apparently, because a lot of people haven't even heard of him. But apparently the Giants are saying goodbye to Prince Amukamara and saying hello to Janoris Jenkins and paying him a lot of money. They're paying a lot of guys a lot of money. That's why I'm saying the Giants are going to be solid this year. Moving on, we have the Lions. Lions. That's the name of the team. Trying to replace Megatron. Which,
not going to work, but...
I mean, if you're going to try to replace Megatron, you'd want to do it with somebody bigger, but considering the number one target for wide receivers this year in free agency is Marvin Jones, they did get the number one guy.
So I guess
they did it all right. It was a 5-year, $40 million deal.
Yeah,
considering...
$40 million a year. A little different.
$40 million a year. Fuck it. 65 catches. I keep writing passes.
Yeah,
816 yards last season. And that's on a team with A.J. Green and Tyler Eifert, who I believe Tyler Eifert got 12 touchdowns and A.J. Green just always does good. So surprisingly, he put up decent numbers with those guys there. And he could be either the number 2 or the number 1 or the 1A, 1B to him and Golden Tate because... I mean, and now Matt Stafford's actually going to have to distribute the ball rather than just throw it to Megatron.
I wonder how much that team's going to change. Cause like half the idiots like,
just throw it up to him. Why not?
Megatron will get it.
But apparently that's not going to work anymore.
Yeah, unless someone gets some speed.
Now we're going to move on to a story involving the muscle hamster, Doug Martin. Apparently, came out and said this. He doesn't like the term muscle hamster.
Well, too bad.
I mean, I'm still going to call you it. Because I'm an unprofessional journalist.
Yeah.
Muscle hamster, 5 years, $17 million guaranteed. I believe it can get up to about $30 million. He's 27 years old, still relatively young. Only had 2 good seasons, or 2 really good seasons in his career, his rookie season and last season. So kind of weird, dipped off in between. But I don't know. And apparently the Bucs have a really bad line, so to put up that decent numbers is very interesting.
Yeah, especially if they can get a line.
Yeah, and then the Bucs aren't going to be too bad. I don't see them as a playoff team, but they got guys like Mike Evans.
You never know with Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. He didn't have a bad season last season. I kind of like Jameis Winston. What?
Was he Rookie of the Year?
He was not Rookie of the Year. No, it was...
Wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
Wasn't he Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Was he Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I thought he was.
He was.
We'll look it up.
I covered this story. I just have a bad memory. Yeah, this is why we have smartphones nowadays. All right, with about 3 minutes left in the show, and anybody watching on Periscope right now, we're going to have a bit of an after show. Not too long, but we're going to have a bit of an after show to just wrap things up. But anybody listening on Spreaker right now, we have 2 minutes left, and we're going to try to get to these last stories.
Rookie of the Year award.
So we got the Rookie of the Year. Sorry about that. Misinformation. The Giants got snacks. I love snacks. Damon Harrison.
Tastes pretty good.
Yeah, I usually like snacks, yeah. Damon Harrison. 5-year, $46 million deal. Again, not guaranteed. Probably got about half. 27 years old. Apparently the best run stopper in all the league. And I can tell you, watching him from a Jets fan's perspective, because he's been with the Jets all of his career, he's been really good. He's really clutch. He's really what makes the Jets into a very good run stop. The Jets have been one of the best run-stopping teams in the last 5 years, and that's because of him. I don't know. The Jets are still going to have a good defense. They're still going to have a good line. It's going to open up more playing time for Leonard Williams. But... losing him is pretty big. I don't know if the Jets can maybe get Nick Fairley or someone just to clog up a hole in there. It would be nice. But Giants, really good move by you. You're doing good things. Yeah. I mean, you can press it all you want. We've never tried that before.
We have
We have 2 more stories. Bengals re-signed George Iocca. Believe that's how you say his name. 5 years, $30 million. 25 years old. He's better against the run, which is weird because he's a safety. Again, kind of guys that are better against the run. Weird. 27 years old. I'm lying. 25 years old. Already said that. 47 tackles and 1 interception in 12 games last season. Not sure if he's hurt. Not exactly sure why he played only 12 games last season. But maybe he can teach his teammates how to not be bad because Pac-Man Jones and Fontes Burfict kind of screwed their playoff chances last season. And our last story of the day, other than the obvious, Texans signed Lamar Miller, 4 years, $26 million, 24 years old, really solid guy, 872 yards, 8 touchdowns.
He's going to replace Arian Foster.
He's solid. And the guy handing him the ball will be none other than QB Brock Osweiler. Now, we should be able to talk a lot more about this, and we will in our next show. I'm not sure if it's going to be me. It might be me and Dan. Not exactly sure. Who knows who it's going to be. but it'll either be later today or tomorrow. So everyone listening on Spreaker right now, we're ending the show. Anyone listening on Periscope or watching on Periscope for that matter, stay tuned. So, as Dan says, see you in the cheap seats.